time.
Boom. Roasted.
The last few weeks within Black Ops 4 have been, well, interesting to say the least. After part 1 of Operation Apocalypse Z went live, we had a few weeks where it seemed like literally nothing was happening. Then we saw part 2 of the operation go live, which added in the Survivors event to the game, and that consisted of some new tiers, some new game modes, and other things of that nature. Now typically after a new event like that does go live, things tend to slow down for a bit again for a few weeks, but to our surprise, the following week we then saw another major title update go live, that being the 1.23 update. However, unlike most title updates, that patch didn't actually bring any extraordinary amount of new content to the game, and instead it was primarily packed full of bug fixes and whatnot. So essentially, we were all clickbaited by a title update. Welcome to 2019, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, with the 1.23 update out of the way, that means the next major wave of content will presumably be added into the game alongside the 1.24 or 1.24 update here pretty soon. So today we're taking a look at everything we know about the 1.24 update here in Black Ops 4. But before we jump into that, if you are new here and you want to stay up to date with all of the latest Call of Duty news and intel, hit that sub button, click that bell icon, join the notification squad, that way you'll always know when a new video goes live. And of course, if you guys do enjoy this one, let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it would be much appreciated. And now let's get into the 1.24 update and everything we know about it so far. So before we get into all of the mode specific stuff, let's first talk about when we could see the 1.24 update actually go live in game. More than likely at this point, I would assume we are not going to see another surprise title update like the 1.23 patch for a little while, as like I said, typically bug fixes come in the game through game settings changes and little hotfixes, and not full-on title updates. That said, we know that the contraband screen says that Operation Apocalypse Z will be coming to a close around Monday, September 23rd. And although new operations normally do go live on Tuesdays, we'll just go off of what is in-game right now for the sake of breaking this down. So we've got just under 40 days left before Operation number 6 kicks off right after the Modern Warfare beta ends. And that beta is pretty important to note, as I highly doubt anything big will be going on in Black Ops 4 while the Modern Warfare beta is around. So from September 12th through the end of Operation Apocalypse Z, I really don't think we're going to see any major updates go down, which then leaves the 1.24 update to fall between now and September 12th, which to be fair is a pretty decent chunk of time, but seeing as we literally just got the 1.22 and the 1.23 updates back to back, I'd say we'll probably just go back to that 2-week pattern that Call of Duty does usually follow with its larger updates. And that then brings us to the end of August, where I honestly think the 27th is looking like the best date for the 1.24 update to go live. Now, as we dive deeper into the content that should be coming to the game with the patch, that date will make a bit more sense, but for now I would say we'll see the 1.24 patch launch around the 27th of August at the earliest, or maybe September 3rd at the latest. But definitely keep in mind that is simply an educated guess on my end. Those dates are subject to change as they have not been confirmed by Activision and or Call of Duty. Those dates aside though, let's jump into multiplayer and see what could be coming with update 1.24. By taking a look at the roadmap, we can see that there is still a handful of new in-season updates that have yet to make it into the game, including Jungle Flooded, the Party Games Mosh Pit, and technically just because of how vague it is, additional new game modes. However, game modes are not necessarily catered towards title updates, and those can instead be introduced with any given hotfix on any given day of the week for that matter. So things like the Party Games Mosh Pit and also the additional game modes really are not dependent on the 1.24 update to be added in. However, the Jungle Flooded map variant is something that more than likely will be added in with a new title update. Much like how we have Contraband Hurricane, Arsenal Sandstorm, and also Hacienda Twilight, Jungle Flooded will just be another variant map, and thus it will be free for everyone when it does eventually release, so be on the lookout for that. Now, another thing that is not necessarily confirmed to be coming, but I could definitely see it happening, is that of a new mini limited event, like how we've seen the Halloween and holiday events previously. As I mentioned, we've got a little less than 40 days left in this operation, which, I mean, as we get further on into the video, you guys will see, is a lot of time with not a whole lot of content left up on deck. So, to me at least, it would make a whole lot of sense to add in a new mini event before the Modern Warfare beta goes live here in just about a month. Otherwise, as much as I hate to say it, this is going to be one very dry month for Black Ops 4 content. So with that in mind, going back to that potential release date of August 27th, if we got a new limited time event that lasts 7 days, PS4 would then have the event from the 27th to September 3rd, and then we'd only have about a week left until the Modern Warfare beta went live, and of course for Xbox One and PC, the event would go live on September 3rd and last until September 10th, which once again wraps up just before the beta kicks off, and thus it wouldn't really draw any hype away from Modern Warfare. So to me, that is really why August 27th makes the most sense for the 1.24 update to go live, and I think a new mini event could definitely be coming to the game here shortly as well, to just keep things feeling fresh. Ideally, we'd be able to earn a new Ultra Weapon bribe through this potential mini event, and I would assume it would be pretty similar to the 4th of July event that consisted of a lot of reserves and then one Ultra Weapon bribe to top things off. Then moving on over into Blackout, unfortunately here it looks like the 1.24 update might just be one of the smallest Blackout updates that we have ever seen, as technically we don't have anything left according to the roadmap. We have seen the pandemic mode added in, we've seen the motorcycle vehicle added in, we saw Ted the bus driver added into the shop this past week, and we have seen other wonder weapons added into the game as well since the start of the operation. So really, all we can look forward to with the 1.24 update on the Blackout side of things is some potential surprise updates, which I would say would probably be limited to maybe another new Blackout character in the black market, and maybe another new wonder weapon or two as well. Other than that, really the only other major Blackout update we can theorize about is some more map updates in the way of the lighting returning back to normal a bit more, and perhaps some of the vibrance returning to the regular map too. We have seen with each major title update within Apocalypse Z so far, excluding 1.23, the lighting on the main map has changed a bit. At first, obviously, it was really foggy and nearly impossible to see anywhere, then it was slightly less foggy, but it was still pretty dark, and now it is way less foggy, and also the sun has shed a bit more light onto the map. So maybe with the 1.24 patch, we end up seeing the gray skies clear out a bit more, or perhaps some of these zombies' debris will be removed and cleaned up in preparation for Operation 6, but I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see there. Then finally over in zombies, really it is just more of the same. Once again, we don't really have a whole lot to look forward to, as the roadmap has pretty much been completed at this point, as the 1.22 update brought the Duck and Cover Gauntlet to the game, alongside the M16 and the Javelina AA-50 snipers, so that's the new weapons checked off, and various Mark II weapon support was also added in with the 1.22 patch as well. So as far as what we could expect to see in the 1.24 update, yeah, we literally have nothing to go off of for that one. I don't really know what else to say there. So you might have picked up on the theme throughout this video, with the exception of multiplayer, which even there isn't a ton of solidified content. The 1.24 update and the remainder of Operation Apocalypse Z and the Survivors event really is not looking all that exciting if I'm being honest. Unfortunately, we still have quite a ways to go until the start of Operation 6 in late September, but at the very least, we do have the Modern Warfare beta, which spans a handful of days in mid-September to keep us occupied if in fact the remainder of this operation is pretty lackluster. And I mean, just to be blunt and completely transparent with you guys, I'm not really expecting a ton in the way of new content, seeing as the roadmap is pretty much filled out at this point, with the exception of one or two things here and there. So hopefully there is quite a few surprises planned for Black Ops 4. If not, it could be a rough couple of weeks to say the least. With all of that being said though, that is effectively going to wrap things up for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it would be much appreciated, and it does also really help out the channel. And of course, if you are brand new here and you do want to stay up to date with everything going on in the world of Call of Duty, ranging from news to leaks to updates and everything else in between, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on. That way you'll always know when a new video goes live. As always, be sure to use code IMMORTAL on all G Fuel, Control Freak, and Respawn products. You can find all of those links down in the description below. And once again, thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.